How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's your host, Rising Oblivion. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about the 25th anniversary of Persona. So, we do know that in December here, we're supposed to be getting another announcement for Persona, but it's kind of unclear exactly what this is going to be. If you actually go and look on the website, the actual dates showing of when we're supposed to be getting new announcements, if you notice on the website, is actually gone. But from what they last said, we were supposed to be getting some new information regarding the 20th anniversary in December. And I believe somewhere, sources have said the 10th or the 12th or something like that is when we're supposed to be specifically getting that stuff and getting that announcement. But here is what basically this means. Is we had the last thing in September, which September gave us a little bit of a roadmap towards some new things that we're going to be getting months later down the line. So more than likely, anything that is announced in December, especially mid to late December, more than likely is going to be something that we're going to see a couple of months into the next year. So in 2022, we more than likely are going to be seeing what new stuff we're going to have for Persona here in December. So we can expect a couple of things down the sort of road there in 2022 from these announcements we're going to be having in December. But I have a couple predictions, a couple things that I would like to think we were going to have here. I know so many people were super excited and thought that maybe in September, when they did their first announcement for the 25th anniversary, they thought that maybe we'd get something like a Persona 4 Golden port to console and Switch and stuff like that. A lot of people sort of thought that was what it was going to be, but I'm not 100% sure if they were super ready to drop something like that just yet. I think there was a lot of heat behind SMT5 and a lot of other stuff that they were still trying to sort of worry about and sort of trying to deal with and push their games out. And it was towards the end of the year. It actually is kind of bad to drop a new game or a new announcement for a new game at the very end of December. You actually try to do that around November or so. There's always that release window of a bunch of new games around October to November, and I think SMT5 was their big game for Atlus for that. So it would make sense for it to see more things like possible ports happening within the next year. So the announcements we get here in December might be way better than what we get here in September. I'm very optimistic to hope and see that we end up seeing some really good stuff here for this announcement in December. I think it's going to be a lot better than what we got in September. September was mostly just exclusive Japan stuff, and a couple other things, concerts, some stuff like that. Nothing that was particularly like too great for us, and some stuff in the store and whatnot, which, yes, getting those cosmetic type of stuff like postcards, posters, digital posters, stuff like that, that's cool and all, but I think a lot of us are expecting something like a brand new game, a spin-off title, or possibly a port or something like that. I think this announcement in December is going to show us possible ports and possible things like spin-offs and stuff like that that we're going to be seeing through 2022, and I think this one is going to be a little more impactful than the last one, just judging by how it seems like there wasn't a whole lot really going on in the September one. It was mostly Japan exclusive, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is a Japan exclusive thing that we end up seeing for a couple of these different posts in the future. It doesn't seem like they were fully focused on this being an international 25th anniversary of Persona type of thing. Yes, we could buy stuff, but like the concert and a couple of other things, those are exclusive to just Japan, which it does suck that they specifically are the ones who only get a lot of that type of stuff, but it makes sense from them to some degree. It's a lot easier for them to schedule things in Japan and work things out in Japan instead of having international releases of stuff. But a really simple and easy thing that they could do is have digital ports and stuff like that, and Atlus might be having some people behind the scenes doing these ports. Atlus specifically does not do these ports, so having the Persona 4 Golden ported to other things and other consoles and whatnot isn't such a big deal for them to do, I don't think. They could easily just have the people do that again and then release it. More than likely, that'll be Sega sort of pushing that type of stuff out when it comes to something like a Persona 4 Golden port to like Switch and stuff like that. The sales on the SMT5 have been pretty damn good when it comes to the Switch. A lot of giveaways, a lot of people are buying the game. In general, I bought it twice. Your man needed that steelbook and he needed a digital version, and all the DLC is pretty good for that too. So it's not a big surprise if we end up seeing something like that, but I think it'll be pushed from Sega, and it'll probably more than likely be third-party people like we've seen with Persona 4 Golden on Steam that is going to be pushing these ports to us. It more than likely isn't Atlus. Atlus is going to be working on the other studios. The main studio just released SMT5. They're trying to probably still work on that. The Persona Studios is more than likely working on either a spin-off or trying to negotiate other things for new spin-offs or remasters and stuff like that. And the Studio Zero, of course, is doing their own thing. So more than likely, if we do see announcements in December, it'll more than likely be ports done by third parties, bringing us new games in 2022 with either ports or remasters, stuff like that. But let's talk about what specific games I think people would like to see, or at least what I personally would love to see. So, I mean, this is a Hail Mary for sure. I would love to see the dancing games put on Switch, and in some way or capacity, I think a motion control type of thing would be really fucking cool when it comes to maybe certain motions or something like that, do the actual buttons and things. I don't know how exactly it would work. Maybe you can use the back buttons to like click certain stuff or something along that degree would be really cool to have on the Switch. And then also getting that game also on PC would be really cool as well. I mean, the dancing games are perfect for PC, using them, you know, like mouse to click at different buttons for like the big circle rings and then different keyboard combinations and stuff like that. I think that'd be really cool and would run hopefully well if they port it decently over to PC. I think it fits like really perfect, has like a natural home when it comes to PC. And of course, Persona 4 Golden being brought to multiple consoles, I think that's the huge one a lot of people want to see. But I also think having something like Persona 3 remastered or remade will be good as well. Now, I know everybody in the world is saying that constantly, a remaster is good, a remaster is good, but I think when it comes to my list personally, the dancing games and having P4 and P3 remastered, I think that's the perfect thing for them to do. Let the rest of the people who played P5, played P4 and P3 on different consoles. Atlus had seen how well it had done when it came to P4 Golden on Steam. It's no surprise they know of these things and how well it would do if they had other stuff, you know, ported or remastered. It's just all a matter of whether or not they actually do it, if they think it's worth their time, if they're willing to dig up these old games to do that. I think when it comes to them personally, they're just trying to work on new projects and maybe don't really care a whole lot about porting these brand new games. The Persona 3, 4, and 5 collection type port thing to all consoles would be amazing, because we know Persona 5 could probably run on Switch very easily. It was a PS3 game, so in order to have all of these games bundled together and put on Switch, PC, and of course it would work on console, it shouldn't be too far of a stretch of the imagination to see P3, 4, and 5 sort of bundled together. I think a lot of people would really love that to be a thing, and of course the dancing games. I think my personal, like, wants, my Hail Mary of the ultimate thing that they could bring and port around when it comes to Atlus is the first, you know, the original, the trilogy of Persona with the brand new P Studios, P3, P4, and P5 bundled together, and also having the dancing games alongside them. Whether or not they touch P1 or P2, it's a very big question. It's very, you know, in the air. Who really knows whether or not they'd like to touch that stuff. It's really old. Technically, it wasn't the exact same studio they have right now when it comes to P Studios, and would they like to, you know, have a third party port those types of things and remaster those types of things? It's a really hard question of whether or not they actually do that. And when it comes to ports and actual remasters, remasters take a lot more time if they're going to actually go in and change the assets completely, and a whole remake is even more time. So a port is pretty simple when it comes to all of those different types of things. So I see ports probably being easy. Full-on remakes and remasters, who really knows? I think those are definitely big Hail Marys that we probably won't end up seeing at all from Atlus, but that's sort of my wish list when it comes to the different things that I would like to see there. Let me know what exactly you would like to see with ports, remasters, a brand new spin-off game. More than likely, we still have probably a couple other P5 spin-offs down the road. It doesn't look like they fully concluded everything when it comes to P5 anyway. They left a lot of open ends and stuff like that. It's not like P4 where it seemed like it had a really nice, solid ending, at least when it came to Golden and stuff like that. So I'm sure there's still a couple other things we could see down the road when it comes to, you know, P5 anyway. But like I said, down in the comment section below, let me know, what do you think? What would you like to see for the anniversary? Like I said, we're supposed to have one in December here, and it'll more than likely show some stuff for the early 2022 when it comes to what content they'll be talking about. And I think this announcement has more of a likelibility of having ports and stuff in it. I don't know. I think the September one made no sense to really do that because it was too close to SMT5. At least that's what I think. But let me know your ideas and thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe for more content. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching.